This is a proposal for the Legacy Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. The facility is going to be located, obviously, in Birmingham, Alabama, in the Uptown district. It's similar to the downtown. That's what it's just considered. The stadium is going to be a capacity of about 50,000 with room for expansion. It's about $250 million for the overall renovation. However, there is space already acclimated for this. Job opportunity-wise, there's going to be roughly 15,000. That all the way includes construction, the ability to go ahead and hire people in for facility operations, management, so forth. First thing we want to talk about is the needs assessment. In the picture on the right, you can see that is Legion Field. It's the old stadium. Where it's located is probably 1 to 2 miles, maybe a little bit further from the actual downtown, uptown district. But it has been around for a very, very long time. To do any kind of expansion would probably create an overall reevaluation of the foundation, building codes, etc. So one of the things that we want to do is with this new stadium is create multiple venues, whether it be concerts, high school competitions, a bowl game, seminars, conference meetings, even weddings. We just want to make it set the standard. So having that immediate facility, that upgrade, it's going to be brand new, which therefore it's going to attract future events. The cost is one of the big things with how the initial cost is going to set with $250 million. We can probably elongate that with payments over time, increased taxes, things like that. I know that's kind of a traditional downfall on building something new, but with Birmingham up and coming, population growing, I think we'll be able to make it work. One of the things we talked about before was safety, creating for the University of Alabama at Birmingham, with student athletes, fans, alumni, students. They are all the ones who basically partake into Legion Field. So with the new stadium, we will be able to host the university and allow them to have a new congregation for their football games. It works in conjunction with the Legacy Arena, as you can see. So we already have parking, hotels, and entertainment district. All that is already built and sits right beside where the new stadium will be located. So a few of the strengths and weaknesses when we discuss a SWOT analysis would be a few things. So new addition to the city, that's a strength that we look at. Population in Birmingham is rising, so it's something that could provide a new identity to the city. Bringing football, whether it be a semi-pro team, soccer team, lacrosse, things like that. Since it's a stadium that can host multiple events, we want to make it a multi-purpose stadium. The exposure and attraction that it's going to bring is something that's going to be in this state and especially in this city, something that a lot of people haven't seen in a very, very long time. The accessibility that Birmingham possesses, as well as where the stadium is going to be located, all major highways come through or around that centralized location. A couple of the weaknesses, obviously the initial cost. The longevity of the construction, if it's going to be overcrowded, because how long is it going to take to build it? 3 to 5 years. Where it's located is great once it's done, but you're going to have some problems with directing traffic when construction sites are going on, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. But also the congestion with the high amount of traffic that's going to be coming in, that kind of ties in with the construction process and so forth. A few of the opportunities and threats, a couple opportunities would be new jobs. Obviously, we talked about 15,000. There's going to be new office space available that we can open up, some real estate possibly moving into the near future. And then sponsorship and marketing. Where the entertainment district is set up, being able to get some of those businesses to jump on for some more sponsorship ideas, whether it be signage, video board features, things like that. But we're also going to be able to market it. Kind of like we stated before with UAB coming back into football, this new stadium just adds another piece to that identity. It's called the quote-unquote the return. So bringing that in and marketing that with the city itself, and then even bringing back some of those state championship football games and soccer games where they have been played in other arenas, we can now move it back to our city and our arena. Obviously, some of the threats would be affordability of tickets to try to cut costs and break even in a sense. ticket prices may rise to just kind of help that situation. And then another thing would be security issues. We always have a threat of security problems, whether it be pregame, during the game, post-game, things like that. And we'll discuss that a little bit later on. And then also the noisiness. With the neighborhoods that are currently in the downtown area, some of those may come up, may have to move. There may be some different resources that we have to use, but the initial construction planning and things like that may create somewhat of a noise pollution. One of the biggest concepts moving forward with building brand new facilities, whether it be stadiums, warehouses, etc., they are wanting to go green. If we partner with Going Green and use them for a recyclable plan during our pre-planning or our construction, it's going to help cost affect everything. It's going to reduce waste during the construction. We're going to keep the area neat and safe. And then the big thing to do that would be utilizing an off-site construction plan, or even whether we want to build the bulk of the manufacturers from stadium seats, lights, things like that off-site. That's going to create a less congested area. Also, we want to purchase only the necessary supplies. We're not going to try to overbulk. This all comes through our pre-planning, so we got to understand what we're going to do before we start it. And the big thing for us, and one of the things that is going to work since it's an open air stadium, would be LED lighting that can be used from solar panels that charge the lights up all during the day, and then at night when we have an event or use them, the lights are going to take less power. Obviously, they're solar power, so LED is automatically going to take less wattage to operate versus trying to do standardized lights. To kind of talk about marketing again, we touched briefly on sponsorships. The entertainment district, there's about 5 or 6 hotels, 7 restaurants and bars, and then obviously other businesses such as banks, law firms, real estate, housing agencies, things like that. They're all going to be able to take part into adding or buying into what we have. Uptown is a great district. It's got everything you basically need. We are going to partner with the Legacy Arena, which is basically hosting concerts that we do indoor as well as basketball. So we can kind of conjunction with them and use that for implementing whether we need weather delays and they need to move inside for a concert, things like that. Another thing would be the public image to the university, kind of like what we harped on before with so many people excited about the return of UAB's football program. It's also going to be a brand new stadium, not only for our football team there, but for all high school athletics. So now we can use it as a recruiting tool. Make sure that these people know that their well-being is going to be taken care of. It's in a new safe environment. There are plenty of opportunities here in this program. So again, with security, some of the issues that we've had would probably be with parking, overcrowdedness, transportation, even terrorist threats. Luckily, Birmingham hasn't seen anything quite like that, but you always want to be prepared. You always want to have a plan in place. This is going to come back to our pre-planning. When we decide to plan an event in the stadium, we need to think about all accommodations, everything. How people are going to get to and from their parking. Are we going to provide transportation? Is there going to be a transit? Things like that. Also, cleanup and maintenance. If we have, a broken faucet or, a light bulb goes out, something like that, we need to be able to create a time frame that we can get it fixed so that the, event could still go on. Is it something that we need to address after the event, pre-event, things like that. And then the big thing would be crowd control. As you can see in the picture to the right, this is of the Birmingham Bowl a year ago where Auburn University played the University of Memphis. It was sold out. Obviously, Auburn being a local product in the state, a lot of their fans wanted to congregate to Birmingham to watch the game. With this stadium being downtown now in the Uptown District, parking is going to be a little bit more difficult, but that's why we'll probably house with some of the parking authorities that we have with parking decks. I think there's about 4 or 5 in the downtown area now that we can use and utilize that. But we're going to need security protocol. You know, obviously, if they're inside the deck, we need cameras, officers on hand, things like that. So thank you. It's nice to have you in Birmingham.